everybody. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. We're here with the comedian known as Talent and Fig. As I say every day, these comedians have been in the comedy game since damn near almost before time. They've been in comedy films, film festivals, commercials. I mean, traveled the world. I mean, it must be pretty great to travel the world doing comedy, huh, fellas?
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's got to be really great with that. I can't
and it's
only
free, which makes it better.
All right, let's get ready to jump into the show because today is the NFL Draft Day. We want to definitely make sure we talk about the NFL Draft Day. It looks like Roger Perry's doing the show too. So, what I normally do is I normally kick off with the COVID report, and I want to start off by saying of 488 players in the NBA, 2 NBA players tested positive, and 2 of those players who tested positive, their names have not been revealed. So that's the COVID report. Now let's jump into the show. I don't know if you guys heard this sports report, and I'm going to start with you, Talent, but the boxer known as Canelo Alvarez, in 2018, he negotiated the safe release of his kidnapped brother the week of his fight in Mexico. If that's not phenomenal, I don't even know what is. And then on top of that, he knocked out his opponent in the 3rd round. And you already know how bad it is in Mexico to be having a fight and dealing with somebody who kidnapped somebody, a group of people who kidnapped one of your family members. Can you only imagine that or what?
Listen, man, Canelo El Chapo Alvarez. He negotiated a kidnapping. Canelo's a beast, man. Let me tell you something. First of all, this goes to show you Americans who are privileged and spoiled in your little lives. This brother is got a big fight coming up, and get the word, and he's negotiating a kidnapping of a relative. Let me tell you something, bro. And knock the dude out. You know what that was. He in the ring. He see the abductor. Yeah,
exactly.
The poor guy ain't never stood a chance. He's like, is something wrong with his eyes? Yes, he's negotiating. Knocked his ass out. Yo, that's big time. That should be a movie, actually. That's a good movie.
You know what? That would be a good movie.
That's a movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie, actually. Fig, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh man, that's fantastic. First off, it brings to mind that when you go over to Mexico, if you or your family has money, the cartel will kidnap your behind and hold you for ransom. And that's pretty much why black people don't get kidnapped, because you call our number, it might be disconnected. We ain't got no ransom money. Don't kidnap nobody black.
Got no money.
We ain't got no ransom money. And let me tell you, I got proof we ain't got no money. Remember the little girl back in the day where they kidnapped her and she ate her way through the ropes and the duct tape and she was home before it made the news? That's because she knew my mama ain't got no money.
Let me tell you something. People don't know. I was kidnapped when I was younger. They gave me back too. When they called my mother said, listen, I ain't got nothing right now, but I can come clean your house every other weekend.
Listen, black folks mostly they'll be like, listen, if you kidnap the wrong person in their family, they'll be like, you can keep them. Rodney Berry, what's your thoughts?
Well, Canelo had to negotiate this thing because it was his fault. He's the one that got richer than family, and the brother was just occupational hazard. You damn well better negotiate Canelo, your damn brother, for God's sake. Get me out of here, Kate. Get me out of here.
All right, so let me jump into the next story real fast because I want to talk about the NFL draft that's coming up. I don't know if you all heard about this story either, but Marshawn Lynch is spreading his wings. He's getting ready to invest in the MMA league. Since we talk about the MMA and boxing and everything else, he's investing in an MMA league called the PFL. It's going to go head to head with the normal MMA league, but Marshawn Lynch spreading his wings. He's invested in a couple of things, slowly trying to become a billionaire because he's invested in a lot of things actually, but this one might be the one that actually pops. What do you think you hear about this one, Talent?
I think it's amazing. I've been watching him do his investment thing and his business thing. He's very business sound, which now explains when a lot of us thought he was crazy for early retirement. And everybody was like, oh, he's a nutcase. No, he put his ducks in a row early. He knew before he finished his football career, he knew what he was going into because he was dibbling and dabbling. Remember, he dipped out one year, then he decided to come back for a second. But they have specials. I seen a documentary where this guy who does this famous for training these dogs, you know what I mean, to these celebrities. And I seen they went to his shop, one of his apparel shop, and his clothing line is branded. And I was like, dude knows what he's doing. So that's dope. I think it's very dope.
Yeah, Fig, what you think?
I'm here. I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's pretty much. Yeah. Marshawn Lynch, man. Kudos, man. Congratulations to him. It's always nice to see athletes find something to do after their athletic career is behind them. Business endeavors, buying into and investing in, different brands, corporations, and stuff like that. Because the reputation of the athlete prior to that was shortly after their athletic career, quite often a lot of them go broke and ending up working like menial jobs or whatever. So it's good to finally see these guys invest in some of that money that they make.
Right. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts, Rodney?
I'm reading about this PFL. First of all, it's Marshawn Lynch, people like Kevin Hart, Wiz Khalifa's involved in this league as well. And it looks like they're gonna have like a regular season and kind of a playoff. And they're gonna incorporate Marshawn Lynch by having a beast mode player of the night. So I think they borrowed it from you, Fig. I'm just saying. They borrowed that dog. That's the same dog scenario.
Yeah, it is.
They watching us, Fig. They watching us.
I'm telling you, man. I be seeing some of the stuff we say on regular TV. I'm like, we just said that.
When y'all see the news and y'all happen to see a baseball player get hit in the face, I don't know if you all cringe, but when Bryce Harper got hit in the face last night, he got hit in the game face with a 97 mile per hour pitch. They were playing against the Cardinals, but in case you don't know, Bryce Harper plays for the Phillies and everything else. I don't know about you, Talent. The first thought I thought about when he fell was like, oh, I hope he's not dead. I ain't gonna lie, because I thought he was seriously injured. But
how did he escape injury?
Yeah.
Yo, that joint smashed. Yo, I was like, it's over. Like it hit him so hard in the face. I said, yeah, he tore his Achilles. But he get no injury. He's fine.
Yeah, but there was a Yankee player who used to be for the Seattle, I think it was, and everything, or one of the Marlins. He got hit almost the exact same face, and he had a whole jaw.
Broke everything up.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Fig, what's your thoughts when you saw that? I know you saw it. I know you saw it.
I got the inside scoop, ladies and gentlemen. This just in. Bryce Harper is really an android. He's not a real human.
I was about to say.
He's a robot. That's what it is. A human being can't get hit in the face with a pitch 97 miles an hour with no injury. That's not possible. I'm telling you. I seen stuff. They be making these robots and they making them look like humans. Bryce Harper is one of them robots.
Bryce Harper is doing his thing, boy. He's doing his thing because get up. Rodney Perry, I know you saw it. What was you thinking?
I did see it. I just got some news off the wire as well.
Crazy.
Looks like Bryce took a ball to the face and it was like some sort of liquid involved. They're trying to figure out what the liquid is. They don't know. But that's what's under scrutiny. So that's why he's the rumor is, Frank, and I know you get the wire as well. The rumor is that it was a high protein liquid, and that Bryce is gonna be okay.
The man can't keep a straight face.
High protein liquid at 96.9 miles per hour is really could be fatal. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing he was able to make it out of it. So our prayers and blessings go out to Bryce Harper
I
and
can't.
his family and,
Yo.
and the millions
This dude is crazy.
the
Something really
millions
wrong.
of little soldiers that didn't make it.
The little soldiers. First of all, I'm gonna say this before we move on to the next story. Your wire paper looks suspect, so I'm just saying.
Well, hold up. I did check the wire, and we had an issue with our wire, and so it did chew up the paper. But we was hoping nobody would make note of that. But thank you, Frank, for calling us out.
Yeah, hilarious. But
again, for the record, Bryce Harper takes a ball to the face.
And then you have to repeat that. Thank you, Roddy. I appreciate that.
And there's some sort of liquid, high protein liquid that came out.
All right, another news, man. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see Lamar Jackson because he was trending last night for almost all day yesterday. Lamar Jackson, he stopped some guy. Some guy stopped him on the street, right? Lamar Jackson said to the guy, "If you know who I am, I'll give you $100." This guy guessed everybody in the world except who he was. The guy walks away. And then Lamar still gives him $100. And I was like, you know what? That's the type of news we need to see from these NFL players. So it was a feel-good story that even though the guy gets wrong, Lamar gave him $100 anyway. And that started trending on one of the good, positive movement type of things for the NFL players. I loved it when I saw it. I can't even explain it the way that I saw it. It was so moving. Talent, what's your thoughts you hear about Lamar? Can't hear you, Talent. Can't hear you.
Feel good story. I agree with you. It's a very good feel good story. We do need to see more of this. What's ironic is we see a lot of this from lesser profile people. There's somebody, they're coming up, they're doing stuff, maybe up and coming rapper, comedian, whatever. We see it a lot in those realms. We need to see more of this. Up at the Marshawn, those levels, the Marshawn Lynches, the high profile Jeezys and all that. We need to see more feel good stories like this. I think it's dope. You know what I mean? You guess wrong, but you know what? Hey, go $100.
Ain't that the truth? Faye, what you think?
I think it's nice, man, the fact that Lamar Jackson is such a star in the NFL and he gave a baseball fan $100. I mean, when you watch baseball, you really don't know who the football players are. And probably because they wear helmets. That's probably a good reason why you didn't know what he looked like without his helmet on. Now, if he would have put his helmet on and they would have saw that emblem on the side, he would have had a better opportunity to figure out who he was. But,
True.
Nice.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to throw this to Rodney Perry. I think people know who all the quarterbacks are. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Rodney Perry, what's your things? What you think? You agree with Fig?
Absolutely. I was just checking the wire about it, and I don't know. You probably this just came in, Frank. Apparently, Lamar did, in fact, give the man $100, and the guy didn't. But as Lamar walked off, he was like, "That's what you get, you bitch." I mean, I don't know what he meant by that, but I believe it was some acronym of some sort. But yeah, and I'm sure Stack has that story as well. I'm sure he can expound on the
Stack. Did he really call the man a bitch when he walked away, man? Did Lamar really call him?
I heard the same thing. I think I heard from the same source.
I told you guys, I got my wire is hot.
Rodney is accurate.
Y'all are absolutely insane. Y'all are driving me nuts. All right, let's get ready to move on to some of the real stories and everything else. Yesterday, we know today's the draft. We also know people getting ready to make some major moves. I think one of the first big things to fall was yesterday with Teddy Bridgewater got traded from the Panthers to the Broncos. And that makes a lot of sense of what the Broncos are going to do. And it also opens up the door for what the Panthers are going to do. But I'm going to start with you, Talent. Tell me what you think is going to happen now that Bridgewater is traded to the Broncos. Will the Broncos still trade for a QB, or will they trade for the defense and move on since they think they might have their QB that's going to hold them up right now?
I think if I had to guess, I would think defense. I don't think they're going to be trading for or trying to get another QB. I think they think they are where they are, and they're going to stack up that deep. Plug some of them holes. They got a lot of holes. A few holes that they can plug to make that D kind of, even just to be sound. You don't have to have the number one defense, but they do need to make some strides to get a sound defense to lock those holes up. But yeah, I think they're good with where they at quarterback position.
All right, let me just get ready to make this introduction so you all can hear this one really quickly. I'm getting ready to bring in a player who played in the NFL. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He also balled out at the University of Florida for the Florida Gators. He also was in the Arena League. He played for the Orlando Predators and the Tri-City Predators. Now, he was really one of the top All-American high school players in the country. And of course, he was one of the top 100 and broke into the NFL. He did an amazing job in the NFL. Now he's doing great things and everything else. I need to bring into the studio Mr. Julian Riley. Julian, how you doing today, brother? How's everything?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Hey,
Julian, thank you for joining the show, brother. We appreciate you.
Man, thank you guys so much for having me. That introduction was a lot better than than I expected, guys. So I didn't ball out in the league. I didn't ball out in the league, and I actually didn't start balling out until I transferred from University of Florida to the University of South Florida. But it was fun. Definitely getting picked up by Kansas City was cool. I balled out on the practice squad for a couple weeks. That was cool. And but college was a great experience, and I got to meet a lot of interesting people and had some wonderful experiences. So, go Gators, go Bulls, and thank you guys so much for having me on the podcast.
I'll tell you one thing, that's the best Wi-Fi we've seen, Frank, when somebody driving ever.
I know, right? But Julian, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Don't ever mess up my intro, bro. Leave it at that. The intro is what it is. If I said you great, we're gonna leave you at great, all right? We're gonna leave you at great. But now, seriously, man, I want to start off. All the guys are gonna ask you questions, right? And I'm gonna start off by asking you the questions that we talked about previously. One of the biggest questions I wanted to know from a person who's played college ball, person who's been in the NFL. I want to ask you, man, is Teddy Bridgewater? It's Teddy Bridgewater. Is Justin Fields the real deal as we see him to be? Is Trevor Lawrence the real deal? And should Trevor Lawrence be the number one pick in the draft as we see it look like it's going to play out tonight? What you think?
All right, so I do think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number one pick. The reason why is just because, he went to Clemson. Clemson's a big school. They have a huge alumni base. They, it's a lot of people that, and then he looks like Sunshine from, what was that one movie with,
Remember the Titans.
Denzel Washington?
Remember
he looks like Sunshine. And then he's a big kid, man. He's like 6'6". He runs a really good 40 time. He can throw a really good ball. I just think his intangibles and things like that are good. But like I said, the things that I didn't like about Trevor Lawrence was he didn't really make good decisions. And anytime he got some real pressure, when he got some dogs, he didn't look good. So to me, I just don't. But like I said, I'm not a GM, so they pay a lot of guys a lot of millions of to handle that stuff. But I do think he's probably the safest pick. Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong, nothing. I love black quarterbacks, and I just think he's just going to be another Lamar Jackson. But you can win with Lamar Jackson. So right. I think he'll be able to do everything Lamar Jackson can do. But like I said, to me, he's an Ohio State quarterback, and I just can't really gauge those guys based off of just where they play. They're playing in the Big Ten, where they're the best school in that whole entire conference. They're not really playing against really major competition. And, and then so all of his receivers are going to get separation from the DBs that they're going up against, and then he has the best offensive line, and then he has the best defense, one of the best defenses in the country. So he's going to be on the field more times to get and produce, numbers that are higher than other teams, maybe, So I personally, of course, I know they're still going to draft him. Don't get me wrong, because of course, that's just how it goes. But I wouldn't. If it was me, I'd probably get a defensive end or get an offensive lineman or some address some other need personally. But then of course I'm a lineman, so I believe that you win and lose games in the trenches.
All right, Tal, you got a question for him, bro?
Oh, absolutely. Who's your cell phone service provider? First of all,
my cell phone.
You riding around looking good.
Oh man,
you look like you were somebody always using Wi-Fi. That's some good stuff right there. But all jokes aside, when you got to the league as a professional, I want you to share with us that moment, that rookie moment or mistake, because everybody makes one, because you're coming into a new league or whatever it is. Have you ever had that rookie moment or mistake that maybe you was embarrassed or somebody had to check you? Has it ever happened for you?
No, because when I got picked up, man, I kind of already knew what the deal was, man, because I got picked up free agent, and they had just drafted Tank Tyler. We played the same position, and then they also drafted what was the kid? I forget his name. He was from LSU, but they literally drafted Tank Tyler and then another dude from LSU in the first round the last 2 years in a row, and we all played the same position. So I kind of already knew what time it was for me, man. They have things called camp bodies, and it's just guys that they I guess really they just give you a chance. But it worked out. It was cool. So I didn't really get the reps to mess up like that in that position, but I did have a freshman rookie moment. My freshman year of college at Florida, we were doing middle drill, and middle drill is just like 9-on-7. So when the receivers are doing 1-on-1 drills, then everybody else doing the defensive line and the linebackers are doing middle drill. And I think guys, it was 2-a-days, so dudes are faking injuries, dudes are hurt, when they really didn't have any D linemen, and the starters were out there, and I knew I wasn't a starter at that moment, and because I was only like 260 pounds at the time, and I was playing nose guard, and and that's just not, you're not big enough to play in the SEC at that. You're just a little guy at that, but long story short, they threw me in because they didn't have anybody, and I was on the sideline, drinking water, and Coach Charlie Strong was like, "Rouse, get your ass in there!" And he threw me in there, and I didn't even know what the play was, guys, and so he threw me in there, and I'm going up against Max Starks, who's like a league, maybe I think Max was like a 12, 15-year veteran for the Steelers. Shannon Snell, who, he played about maybe 4 years in the league. Max Starks, he's 6'7", about 340 pounds. Shannon Snell was about 6'5", 330 pounds. And I came in, didn't know the play. They say down set hike. I come off the ball. I was too high. And long story short, they drove me back to the safeties and pancaked me. So then later on that day, they were watching film. We were watching film as a team. So they were rewinding it over and over. And then every time I fell, everybody was like, boom. Like, so that just, yeah, that was, and Coach Strong was like, welcome to college football, freshman. He was like, your ass is too high. Your pad level's too high. You need to get your ass down. And, because that's how he talks. And so that's
a great story, yo. That's a great story.
Man. It never happened to me again. I don't know if I ever got caked like that again.
Greg, you got one? You got a question?
Yeah, man. That story reminds me of the scene from the movie The Blind Side, where the guy takes the dude and he runs him all the way down the field and then throws him over the wall at the end. That was funny. But yeah, man, listen, I wanted to ask you, what do you guys think? I know there's a lot of top schools and schools where these quarterbacks are coming out that are really popular. But what do NFL players think when their team drafts a QB and he's from these schools like Daniel Jones came out of Duke? It seems like the Jets are going to pick this guy at a Brigham Young University. These are schools that we don't generally recognize where they got some of the top recruits and certainly not quarterback. So what do the guys in the locker room feel when these guys are selected in the draft?
I think guys, they're like me. I think that they think they're going to get a player. Because you got to understand, man, anytime a dude could do it with less, I think we lost with Justin Fields, not that
No, go ahead. I thought we lost you for a second. Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So like with Justin Fields, when you got a guy like that, I mean, not saying that he might not be good, or Trevor Lawrence, because they may pan out to be great. But I'm just saying, a lot of times when you're at a high-powered school like that, like I said, Ohio State has everything. Like what, so he's not really tested until he even gets to the league. When you get a guy like that went to BYU or a guy that went to Wyoming, he's under duress a whole bunch. You get what I mean? So you get to see what he looks like when he's getting pressure. You really get to see what he's built of and what he's really made of. So I think guys know that you're going to get a player. I mean, if you think about it, Steve Young went to BYU. You get what I mean? Ben Roethlisberger, Ben Roethlisberger went to Miami of Ohio. I mean, even the dudes that went to like Cal, like Aaron Rodgers went to Cal, but Cal's not no powerhouse. You get what I mean? So, he's not working with the best receivers in the country going to Cal. He's not working with the best offensive linemen going to Cal. So, I mean, when you get guys that are putting up those types of numbers and doing electrifying things like that, when they go to a school that's not necessarily one of the big dogs, then you know that you got you a player. Right. So I think that they're pretty excited about when they do get guys, from those schools. Because, like I said, I've talked to guys, and they and like I said, they think like me. They're like, man, please. Like when Ken Dorsey got drafted out of Miami, I'm like, we all knew, man, please. Come on. It's not hard to win when you got, Mount McKinney blocking for you, and you got, they had Bubba Franks, and then right after them they had Jeremy Shockey, and then right after them they had Kellen Winslow, and then right after them they had somebody else, like all this talent. You had Najee Davenport, Willis McGahee, you had Frank Gore, you had all, what I mean? So when you got a pool like that, then it's not hard to win.
Right, Rodney Perry, you got a question for him?
Absolutely, Julian. First of all, thanks for coming on the show. Being an ex-player myself, man, it's great for you to shed light on just the inner workings of football. I try to share with these guys sometimes my own experience as a high school football player. And can you expound on the fact, sometimes we're in a barbershop and cats are calling a guy a bum. Can you speak to how you want to slap them in the face sometimes because they've never really wore the uniform?
Yeah, man, that ticks me off too, man. Because honestly, even stuff that happened to me, like when people, oh yeah, bro, you ain't playing, dog, or, bro, you know what I mean, like, or damn, bro, why you ain't, you know what I mean, just the stupid shit that people say. And it's just like, I got more talent than you on my pinky, bro. Like, I'm really good. You know what I mean? And you got to understand, this is the top 1% of 1%. Yes. Less than there's millions of high school football teams across the country, right? And out of those, you got 50 to 100 high school football players, and all of us want to go to the league. You get what I mean? So to even get picked, even to get a scholarship, a full ride scholarship to college, you know what I mean? Like that's top. You're elite. So it's just like, so to call a dude a bum that's elite, you get what I mean? Like you really don't know what you're talking about, because it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and things like that to even make it to that level, and then to call somebody a bum. Yeah, you do want to just slap them sometimes, but you understand that opinions are like assholes and everybody has them. So.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You got a question for him? Zach, go ahead. You got a question for him?
What's going on, Julian? And I got one question that I'm gonna drop. Right, Bill Belichick right now. Are you drafting a quarterback in the first round?
Hell no.
Hell no. Tell me why. Why?
And why?
Because for one, you got Cam Newton. Secondly, I don't think Belichick is too high on any of those guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. If he would get Trevor Lawrence, I think he would get him. But I think to move up in the draft and to do all of that stuff, no. And I think that there's other really good quarterbacks in this draft that Belichick can pick up still. And then he's a master at developing quarterbacks. So I don't really think, why would I develop a quarterback if I'm Belichick? And then you see how much money he spent on defense this year. The man knows how to win football games. So I think they're going to get a heavy dose of Cam. You know what I mean? It's going to be, I think Cam is going to have a really good year. And I think he's not going to be required to throw the ball a lot. I think they're going to ask him to throw the ball maybe 12 to 15 times a game and ask him not to turn over the ball. And then as long as he doesn't do that, they're going to, run him in the running game. And then they're going to use all the running backs that they have. And they're going to play really good defense and really good special teams. And they might fuck around and, at least come second place in the division and make the playoffs. And I think that's good for him. I mean, I think he knows that they don't have a Super Bowl winning team. But then again, if Cam, is healthy and can be and live up. I mean, it's not like he's not a former MVP, so you might fuck around and get, some really good production from him, you know what I mean? And really be able to, to win. Sorry if I drew the F-bomb, guys. I see you guys laugh.
You fucking right.
It's all right. It's only a family. Julian, it's only a family show. That's all. It's all good.
Well, in my family, we use a lot of those. So
that's why I'm saying. But Julian, man, thank you for joining the show. Before you roll up out here, can you tell everybody else now what you got going on? And I'm sure you got a lot. I'm sure you're an entrepreneur. I'm sure you're doing a whole lot of things. Tell everybody what's going on.
Man, guys, honestly, yeah, I'm definitely doing a lot of things now. I've had to reinvent myself because, everybody looks at you as a football player. But I'm an entrepreneur. I have a small tax company that, Marquise and I started a few years ago, back in 2014. It's called City Refund. I also, have a huge team where we teach people how to trade on the foreign exchange markets. I'm a licensed financial advisor. And, I help people, really just 10X their life with information. We help people build and establish business credit and, and build their personal credit. And then also we have a nonprofit organization called We Care LF Inc., where we provide telemed services. We provide housing for, people with disabilities. We help them find jobs. We also help people that have records, do resume building and get career coaching and things like that. And then we're the plug when it comes down to prescription drugs, because we have a 340B program where we're able to offer discounts on prescription drugs. So definitely you can follow me with my name, Julian Riley, on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, man, y'all be blessed, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, very dope, Julian, man, very dope, bro.
Thank you, Julian, for joining the show, man. We appreciate you. I hope you can come back after in a couple of days, and we can rediscuss, the draft and what picks were made and what surprises were made and everything else like that. And everything you're doing, bro, is like, if that was all dope. I mean, I can't even front. Like, that's really, really dope. But thank you for joining the show, Julian. We appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, Julian.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. And and I just had to say I love my Blue Fire.
Talk to you, bro. All right, y'all. That's the show. That's my man, my frat brother. I'd love to have him on the show, man. That was Julian Riley, defensive end, and an NFL. The crazy thing about that, man, is we got to see a perspective of an NFL player who's going to be talking about the draft. Now, I'm going to have to bring this dude back and see what he thought, because we all know, I'm going to start with you, Talent. We all know he's going to be a surprise tonight, right? It's won every single year. Last year, the biggest surprise was Green Bay drafted Justin Love. And then after he drafted Justin Love, everybody's like, oh, snap, Aaron Rodgers is going to be gone soon. So tonight, I'm going to ask you, what big surprise you expect? We talked about this for months now. So now you know everything and everybody. What big surprise do you think is going to happen in tonight's draft, Talent? What's your biggest surprise? And I'm going to tell you my biggest surprise.
Well, I think Trevor Lawrence may go second.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he may go second instead of first. I think that'll be the biggest surprise of the entire draft. Trust.
Okay. All right. I will start with you, Fig. What do you think is going to be the biggest surprise?
Man, and I think, I know this sound, everybody been saying like it's etched in stone, but I think the Jets may shock us tonight, and they may not get Zach, man. They may pick somebody else second over Zach Wilson.
Okay. All right. Riley Perry, what you think is going to be your biggest surprise?
I mean, in keeping with Fig's prediction here, and this is hot off the wire, looks like and we still not sure about this, but like Talon's gonna set his Jets jersey on fire tonight.
That's definitely a prediction. That's definitely a prediction.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's kind of loosely connected to the draft, and but no ball to the face.
I will tell you, my biggest prediction is going to be that there will be another big QB who's going to get traded tonight. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Russell Wilson. It could be just about anybody right now. But I think we're going to see a big name, a QB name. We're going to get. That's what I think. And the reason why is because there's so many moving parts and there's so many so-called QBs that could have potential. This, like we've said all along, this is the biggest QB draft class in years and decades. So I think somebody's going to want to bring in somebody who's close to what they already have, because let's remember now, with the QB, you get a rookie contract. You know what I mean? If you have a QB who's on your roster and you're paying him $20 million, and you think you can draft a QB who is going to be paid maybe $1 million or $2 a year, I think you'll trade away that so-called name and then take that rookie coming out of the class. I think you'll take that risk. That's what I think. I mean, that's my biggest.
Free Deshaun Watson. Free Deshaun Watson. Free Deshaun Watson. And free Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen tonight.
Not tonight.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen tonight.
We're going to see that Jets jersey burn before that happens.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the Jets, right? The Jets got a lot of picks, and I'm gonna start with you, Rodney. Work my way around. I'm gonna start with you tonight. Do you think the Jets are gonna go with defense or offense tonight? Because again, it's the draft. You know, they might make some news. Robert Saleh's got to come in. You know, he's the new Jets head coach. Everybody and their mother looking at Jets because, as you know, the first pick, second pick, Jets in the third pick, it could change the way the whole movement of the draft goes if the Jets go QB. You know what I mean? What you think, Rodney?
Right. I mean, to be honest, and everybody knows that the Jets should go defense. They should lead their team as is, but they're the Jets, so they'll probably take a quarterback.
Right. Fig, what you think?
I think you're going to take the quarterback first because they got rid of Sam Darnold, and you need a quarterback. I mean, I ain't never seen an NFL team try and play without a quarterback, so they're going to get a quarterback first. But then they got 100,000 other picks, so maybe they'll go with defense and stuff like that on those picks.
Well, before I throw it to the Jets fan up in here, I'm going to say this. I think the Jets are going to make a play for Deshaun Watson and then draft defense. That's what I think they're going to do. But what you think Talent? I mean, since you the Jets fan, Talent, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Hold on. That was my Pelican brief. Remember?
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
They are going to get Deshaun Watson, and I think they're going defense. I think in the draft they're going to use those picks and get some key defensive players, and they're going to make their move. Deshaun's coming to New York. He's going to be wearing this green right here. See this green right here? It's better than that Chicago. That little orange they got and that black Chicago stuff.
That, my friends, was what's called a dig. In case you didn't even notice that.
Stay right there. You stay right there.
Uh-oh, he came off.
Then he just
turned the camera off. He turned the camera off. He can ready to go back.
I mean,
He's behind you. He's behind you.
All right, here's the other thing I want to talk about now. I don't know if you all heard this, but this morning the news came out that Bill Belichick is literally trying to make some moves to bring Jimmy Garoppolo to the Patriots. It's one of the hottest rumors that's happening. I think it's just a rumor. I don't think that's going to happen.
Big said that.
Yeah,
I've been saying it all along.
I don't. Yeah, but it's still a rumor. It ain't a fact. So I'm gonna say to you, Talent, do you think it's going to happen, or do you think it's one of the things that people are just talking about? What you think, Talent?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's think back to when he was gone. Like he didn't want to do that.
Right.
You know, he did want to do that. He kind of fought for the kid. So to bring the kid back, and we're only a couple of seasons removed, I don't think it's that far-fetched. Fig said that. He called that. I believe it could happen.
All right, Fig, you still agree with what you said the other day?
Yeah, man. I've been saying it all along. Here's the thing: is that if San Francisco was going for a quarterback, I mean, they could hold on to Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't see it. I mean, they're definitely moved up to get a quarterback, so I can see them getting off of Jimmy Garoppolo because they didn't seem like they was happy with him. You know, he was getting injured and stuff like that and whatever. And I think Bill Belichick's brand of football fits Jimmy Garoppolo's skill set.
Rodney Perry, what you think?
I didn't hear the question, but is Jimmy G going to stay in San Francisco? I believe is the question.
No, the question is Bill Belichick literally making a plan? Because the hot rumor came out that Bill Belichick is making a plan to restructure Jimmy Garoppolo's contract to bring him back to New England. That's the question.
I mean, I would say yes. Mm-hmm. I think he laid the groundwork for the guy, and it just didn't work out. And Jimmy G is like the guy the fish that got away from him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did something like that, even to bring him as a backup.
See, y'all see
Wow, Wow, sweetness.
That's nice.
Sweetness.
Yeah, that's
how you
sweet,
put up
as they
sweetness,
say.
Rodney?
Hey,
I like
my brother did this. My brother's an artist. He did this.
Is that
okay,
right?
That's dope.
Ryan
That's dope.
did that, Rodney?
No, Ryan did do my younger brother.
Oh, Rodney,
Okay.
since you're holding up the thing, Rodney, let me ask you the next question I wanted to ask was about the Chicago Bears, and coincidentally, you're holding up something about the Bears. Are the Bears going to make a move today? Do you expect the Bears to do something shocking tonight, Rodney Perry? I'm going to ask you that first. And
The
then
Bears will do nothing of significance.
I told you. I told you.
You don't see it at all.
This is the best Bear news of the day right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is it.
And your brother, the one in jail, did that. The brother that was no, because they do a lot of very talented brothers. Okay, forget. They're very nice.
Freak, what you think? You think the Bears gonna do anything shocking today?
They're going. I think the most shocking thing is the Bears are going to come out and recognize Rodney Perry as their #1 fan. They're going to announce that on national TV. No, I don't think they're going to do anything shocking. I mean, no, I don't think they're going to do anything shocking at all. I mean, because they just don't do shocking stuff.
They don't like to make decisions on the clock.
No, they definitely
That's
don't.
why they went on and got this Cincinnati piece of dookie.
Tyler, what you think? You think the Bears gonna do something shocking?
The people do not expect anything shocking from the Bears. You will not be shocked until opening game day when the Chicago Bears come out with the new pink uniforms. That's it.
Pink uniform. All right, well, what you all think
Well,
about?
they said the Jets gonna be dressed like AKA's Piggy Green.
All right, let me ask you all this about this. Do you guys like the move that I'm sorry with you, Talon? Do you like the move of Teddy Bridgewater going to Denver? Do you think that's a great career move for him? Because honestly speaking, he could catapult Denver to a whole nother level. Because Denver, they really needed a good QB. Their defense was okay last year. Their offensive line, their QB, that kid, that rookie guy they had, he wasn't the greatest, but he could be the missing piece.
They're good.
No, I think it's a great place for him to go for the simple fact that he is a quarterback. Remember, we talked about him last season. He's a quarterback on that second life in the NFL, and he needs to be in a team that needs him. Right. He needs to be put in that position where he is that guy and not the guy backing up the guy, because you only get 2 or 3 lives in the NFL if you're lucky as a quarterback. Right. And he's on that second life. So I think it's a good fit for him because they damn sure need him.
Right. Faye, what you think?
Yeah, I think Talon is absolutely right, man. Sometimes you can have a player that has great talent and he's just in the wrong system. And Denver has always, they seem like they have been able to revive and breathe some life into, some quarterbacks and stuff like that. And, Peyton Manning was on his last leg when he ended up over there and he was able to win a Super Bowl because they built the team around him. And, Bridgewater's still young, got some talent. I think that Teddy Bridgewater will be the bridge over troubled water for the Denver Broncos this year.
Rodney Perry, you agree or disagree?
I like Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not a big fan of John Elway and the decisions he makes over there. But he likes quarterback. He likes classic quarterbacks. Bridgewater runs just enough to be dangerous, but he's not a running quarterback. And that's a good look for the way the system they run out there in Denver. I think this could be a good thing for Bridgewater and for the Denver Broncos.
All right, Rodney Perry, I'm start again. I'm started going around again because this is the NFL Draft Edition. If you're just tuning in, this is the NFL Draft Edition. We're talking about the NFL Draft tonight and what moves people can make and everything else. I'm going to throw this out there. It says, Rodney Perry, would you be very shocked if Aaron Rodgers was traded tonight during the draft, considering everything that's going on with the Green Bay Packers?
I would be absolutely shocked. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm sick of you bringing up stuff like this, Frank. I'm sick of your Pelican briefs and your little secret Pelican briefs. Leave Aaron Rodgers alone, man.
Sorry about that, Fig. What you think?
I think, man, I find it hard pressed, man. Green Bay doesn't. I mean, they like water. You know what I mean? There ain't no pizzazz to them. They don't do nothing shocking. They just stay steady. You know, real boring. Toast with no butter. You know, Green Bay don't make no splash. You know what I mean? If they're gonna get up off of Aaron Rodgers, it's not gonna be tonight. I doubt it, seriously.
That is the first time an NFL team and a quarterback has ever been compared to toast. Just for the record, what y'all know.
Well, maybe not, because they always say your ass is toast.
Yeah, that's when they cut you. Well, that's why I said Aaron Rodgers ever been compared to toast.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
he's
the butter on the toast. I mean, I can't see it happening, but I guess it would go to according to where he goes, because you had a Pelican brief a while ago with the whole Dallas Cowboy thing.
Right.
That's the only way I can see that happen, if they was to figure out some way and he ends up on the Cowboys. But I'm looking at all the other teams, I can't really see them coming up off them. It doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the reason why I even asked the question, because we talked about this before. At this moment in time, right now, Aaron Rodgers was supposed to have his contract restructured for the next 2 years. He was supposed to. There was a certain date that was supposed to pass, and Green Bay was going to guarantee to pay him the money. I think the date might not have yet passed. But that's why I'm thinking, in my so-called NFL wisdom, I think the Green Bay Packers are still upset at Aaron Rodgers because he has not agreed to renegotiate and structure the contract the way that they wanted it to be. And I think that he might force his way out. Now, he could stay or he could go, depending on the contract negotiations what's going on right now in Green Bay. That's the only reason I'm throwing it out there.
It's a good question. It's definitely a plausible situation. Right. So it's not far-fetched. One thing, for some reason, you got me thinking over the last whatever that something is going to happen. Something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, I got that. Fig, tell me you ain't got that feeling that tonight
I'm not feeling that something. I feel like something crazy tonight is going to happen. The only thing is, I just don't believe that Green Bay is the team to do it. I mean, when has Green Bay ever made a splash? Like doing anything? Like they never made. I get it, but it just seems like the Green Bay organization doesn't do. Like if it was Dallas, I'd be like, oh hell yeah, Jerry Jones is going to do something wild. He's going to do something crazy because it's Jerry Jones. But Green Bay, it's always like. It's like watching black and white TV. Green Bay never really do nothing. It's just regular.
The thing is Green Bay, according to what you're saying, is true. Green Bay has never been in the corner neither. They ain't never been painted in the corner like they are in now. You know what I mean? They weren't even like this painted in the corner with Brett Favre. Brett Favre, they told Brett Favre they saw his numbers declining, his interceptions going up. They were like, listen, we need to get rid of him immediately. And they did. But now with Aaron Rodgers' numbers right now where he's at, his numbers are not going down. Matter of fact, he won MVP, right? If I'm not mistaken, he won MVP.
The funny thing is, Brett Favre threatened to quit every year, and they still didn't replace him. Every year, Brett Favre was like, you know what? It's cold in Green Bay. I'm retiring.
Yeah, but he wasn't 35, 36. He wasn't 35, 36 when he threatened. Last time he threatened, he was 30, 31 when they were starting that new structure of his contract. Now he's what, 35, 36?
Then they called his bluff, and then he was wearing this.
Here's the thing too, they prepare for him to do something like that because they got Justin Love on the bench, and word is that boy's supposed to be bad too. So I don't know how nice he really is or not, but if Aaron Rodgers decides to bounce, they got somebody on the bench. You know, that's just.
Hey, I heard. Now I don't know how true this is because I really can't say. I don't remember what Justin Love looked like or what it is that he did when he was playing in college because it's been a little bit. But they said he wouldn't even make the top 5 in the quarterbacks that they drafted this year.
Ooh, that'd be ugly.
I mean, no matter how good he is, there is no other Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Very true. That's very, very true. All right, so since we talked about all the stuff around football and everything, my last thing I want to ask you guys about is San Francisco 49ers. Everybody and their mother's talking about them. Everybody's expecting they're going to get Trey Lance and Mac Jones, and they're going to make some kind of big splash. They could be the other surprise team and literally draft somebody on defense because they probably already know what they're going to do on offense. Because, again, as I said, this quarterback draft class is so loaded with QBs. I don't know. They might just say, you know what, we can get a QB anytime. Let's get that wide receiver, that Devontae Smith or that other wide receiver. They might do that because they need a wide receiver too. They need something else too.
They should. They should. I mean, this is a wide draft, like you said. It's an abundance of QBs, and that means that you got a lot of leeway to play with. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the pick itself. It could come with the trade. Right. You know what I mean? So the fact that you have that luxury, why not go get one of these top receivers, top prospects coming out? You know, why not get that line guy, that special teams guy, that defensive guy? Why not?
There's a lot of those guys sitting there, and they're not being talked about. Yeah. So, Fig, what you think?
Yeah, I think what Devontae is projected to go. I think he's projected to go number 11 to the Giants. I think they were looking at picking him up at number 11. But I'll tell you this, man. I mean, you look, San Francisco was just there. What is it, like a couple of years ago? So Tampa Bay won last year. Before that, it was Kansas City, and
they beat San Francisco that year in the Super Bowl.
San Francisco. So like 2 years ago, San Francisco was right there. So I mean, clearly they had a team, and the thing is, I never understand why you get up off a quarterback that literally just took you to the Super Bowl. Now a year removed, he's garbage. I never understood that, but it is what it is.
All right, y'all. That's the show for today. We gotta get ready to wrap up. I gotta thank Julian Riley for joining the show, giving us a perspective from what the NFL people are thinking about, and especially for the NFL draft since it's tonight. Tomorrow's show, we are going to have to talk about who did what with whom, and I'm sure there's going to be a surprise that we're going to talk about. So before we roll up out of here, Talent, can you tell everybody out there how they can follow you? And I know you got shows and stuff you're doing, so tell everybody all that. Go ahead,
every day right here, people. Yes. So we're going to be rocking and rolling, man, this weekend. If you got family in Orlando, you got family in the Tampa area, come check your boy out. Easy. Just go to my page, my Instagram IG page. It's Talent the Comedian. Post everything up on there. It's just comedy.
Fig, shows you.
Check your boy out, Fig, Comedian Fig, all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Monday through Friday, right here on the box seats. That's where I'll be, Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m., baby. And tomorrow, I got my top dogs for y'all. Y'all better get ready.
Y'all watching the show. The name of the show is Box Seats. The channel is The Humor Mill. We will be back tomorrow the same time. We're going to have some more. Like I said, we're going to talk more about the NFL draft. We're going to talk about the NBA. We definitely got to talk about what Chris Paul is doing, because since we spoke about him 2 to 3 days ago, he's still doing work. Can't wait to talk about that too. And then, it's the show. It's what we do. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.
Peace.